this is episode 35.
35, Kevin Durant.
This is episode 35, Kevin Durant.
Yes, sir.
I'm your co-host, Andrew Lee.
I am Jaden.
And today we've got, some of you guys may have seen these, some of you may have seen these. Man, we're just tired.
For context, we've been in Chinatown for, 6 straight hours almost? No, 4?
Something like that.
Yeah, we just got back.
Yeah, anyways, we were just filming stuff. And if you guys enjoy the Chinatown, I hope you guys enjoy the Chinatown episodes. You know, we put a lot of work into that. So,
The Chinatown is like just mumbles out.
Give him a break, guys. It's been a long day.
Yes. Anyways, you guys might have seen this podcast on TikTok or on YouTube. They're called On Your Mental. And let's welcome these guys on. Here is Reuben and Kabir. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
What do we want to talk about today?
Shit.
So
First of all, I wanted to say hearing you introduce yourselves. I realized we don't do that on our podcast.
but you guys do the intro afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Reuben
say our
does
names
one.
though. I don't say who we are. That's a good idea. I should
I
probably
guess so,
start
but you
doing
got
that.
the caption underneath.
Yeah,
You
but
do.
what if you're listening? No idea
It's
who
a
we are.
podcast.
It is a podcast.
You don't introduce yourself. You just
No.
start off,
Yeah, we just start talking.
introduce the guests.
Yeah.
But you guys are doing pretty well, right? How long has On Your Mental been?
I started it back in, it would have been January 2021. So year and a half.
Oh wow.
Kabir joined on as my co-host.
It was like a few months later.
Same year. Yeah, within the same year. I want to
It
say,
was the same year.
whatever, man. I want to, it was like midway through season 2 of doing it. We've broken it up into seasons just by taking breaks between stuff.
Right.
So we call it season 2. It's not like a TV show. You know what I mean? It wasn't all one season in 1 year. There were
Yeah.
two seasons in a year. But anyways, midway through season 2, I asked Kabir to join as the co-host because I like him.
But you started off as just a solo podcast and you interviewed people, or just purely solo?
It was all one-on-ones at first.
Okay.
I did a solo episode at one point just because I don't think I could find a guest for the week that I was doing it.
Right.
But yeah, it was just bringing in friends, one at a time, have a conversation, just one-to-one.
Yeah. Same.
And I wanted to do more, which is why then I eventually got more microphones and stuff like that too. And
You started
started talking.
with these microphones,
Yeah,
right?
SM58s. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're
It's
good.
a good microphone.
Yeah.
It's a pretty solid starter.
Right.
You know?
Why did?
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Was your solo episode the one where you had the speed goggles?
That's okay. That's one
Love
I've
that.
done.
That's another one.
That was another one.
Oh, okay.
I've done a few solos. The first solo one I think I did was I was on a mountain. I hiked up the Chief and I brought up all the
Damn.
gear and shit.
What the?
And filmed an episode up there, and not doing that anytime soon again because I was sweating, man. I did the Chief recently and I was way out of shape, but apparently I thought it was okay, but it was way harder than I remembered. But anyways, yeah, I hauled it up there and I did a episode reflecting on turning 25.
Jeez.
Because at the time my mom had gotten a hip replacement, or was learning she needed a hip replacement. And it was just a click that people get old, and turning 25 at the same time just made me think about it and want to talk about it.
Because your solo episode with the speed goggles was, I think we talked about this before. It's the way I remember it. But I think we spoke about it before. Your solo episode, that one specifically, is what made me want to do a solo episode afterward. Because we talked about all this mental health stuff like that. And when you were in Toronto, or where were you? You were somewhere. Minnesota.
You were going for VCon.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I listened to your thing again. I'm like, fuck it, let's just do it. So,
Oh yeah.
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 You did the solo one in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Car,
inspired
nice.
literally by your solo episode.
Thanks.
So,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. So your podcast is focused on mental health, right? And specifically men's mental health, or just mental health?
Originally it was kind of men's mental health, just to get the conversation flowing, because
Right.
dudes don't talk about it.
Right. And
But kind of opened it up to everyone now. It's-
There's still a focus, if you will, on trying to get that perspective into the conversation. I think we both probably agree. We don't want it to just be this has to be about men, right? Because it needs to be an inclusive space where everybody kind of feels welcome in the conversation.
Yeah.
But still trying to tie things back into like a male or a traditional male perspective, you know, like if we end up bringing on a guest, like last week we had on Aziza, one of Kabir's best friends. And she had a lot of great stuff to share about her perspective on empathy, journaling, just dealing with mental health in general, and just kind of like being open. But we did try to tie it back to something unique to like male experience. So we were asking about, I think, our thoughts on having friends of like the opposite sex and can that actually work out, like that kind of conversation. Yeah, so try to like add one element in there, but it doesn't have to be like solely focused.
I mean,
on
I kind of came up with the questions for that
true.
episode, so it was like it was
wasn't
fucking
me.
all over the place. Too.
I'm gonna check it out when I get back to work on Monday.
Yeah, it's a good conversation.
I haven't
but
gotten to
it's
it
like,
yet.
Honestly, one of my favorite ones we've done so far.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it was a standout.
There's
Yeah.
no structure to it, but
And after this, I
turned out
want
same.
him to do all the questions.
Yeah.
I could try.
Do you usually do the questions or
No,
does it?
Reuben does like 90% of everything. I just show up a lot of the time.
That's literally what Andrew and I are like.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
does most of it and I just show up.
You said that. I'd say it.
It's true though.
You said it.
But it's like, I mean, maybe this is a question for you, like the two of you too. Like, do you see anything wrong with that dynamic?
With this, with the split, like the work.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have like, it's just because of our scheduling. Like I only have so much time to do stuff. So I'm like, anything you need help on, I can see if I can do it. I can try. I'm not like, I don't want him to do everything. Like I would like it to be more 50-50. It's just, I don't really have the time to do so.
Sure.
yeah, and I guess I'm fine with it. But it's also like, I feel like this is something I think I'll work on too. But I think I might be more when it comes to like editing or like video stuff. I think I might be more like controlling, almost like, okay, I need it this way. I need the subs to look like this. So maybe that's why I take on more of the work and okay with that. But at the same time, I always tell Jaden, I'm like, okay, I want to hire an editor because I don't like doing it. I saw you start doing captions now. How's that?
Yeah.
Bro, man. Fucking, like it'll take like 20 to 30 minutes to fully caption out like, oh, not that long. maybe like 10, 15 minutes to caption out a 30-second video because I'm doing each word as an individual caption at this point. I found that easier than trying to decide between, do I want 2 in this pop-up? Do I want 1 in this pop-up? 3 in this pop-up? So fuck it, just did 1 word for every single caption.
Yeah, and it's like, it matters. It actually like keeps the viewer retention.
When I watch them now, it feels quicker.
Right?
Like even though it's a 30-second clip, it feels like it's going by faster because your brain's going like, oh shit, there's another word.
Exactly.
You know, am I allowed to swear on this podcast?
Yes.
Dude, I swear.
dude,
so
Yeah,
they
dude.
swear a lot.
I swear a lot.
I'll just censor, but it's all good. It's
Create some
clips.
work for you.
Yeah, it's fine. But no, exactly. Like even I feel like the captions now are not as engaging. Like I'm trying to add in like sound effects and pictures, which is like another workload to it. What was I saying? Like I would love to hire an editor. We always say that.
Yeah.
But just like we don't want to go out of pocket.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because we're not making sweet money off of this thing, you know? So
Not yet, boys. Not yet.
it feels odd to think about like outsourcing too, like same idea, like to add a cost for whatever. But I was gonna ask Cap, do you feel like that's a bad dynamic?
It's bad. It's
The
working.
workflow split?
Honest hour right now.
Working for me, man.
It's working for me too. I'm not asking this in a way that
No, I
it's
mean, like once in a while you'll ask me to like.
tell me you want to do more work, man.
I mean, I'm definitely not like taking an initiative to
Yeah.
welcome more work into my.
You're not taking initiative?
No, definitely not. But like, if he asked me to like do something, I'll definitely work to do it. You know,
I think
and I don't mind that.
3 weeks ago, I asked him to start looking for guests to take like some of that off my plate because I've been also like the one like trying to find people to come on, and he is so sweet. Like that's good enough for me. But that's also why we started doing it once every 2 weeks because it's a lot to keep up with, man. Like if y'all are putting out an episode a week, anybody who does something creative can probably relate to that. It's like trying to keep up with what social media tells you is the required kind of demand of
Daily
content.
TikToks, daily
you have to
reels.
post a daily TikTok. You have to get your content out regularly. It has to be consistent, blah, 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 blah. It takes away from like the love of doing it, I think, when you like apply that pressure. That's what I was feeling.
And that's why 2 weeks now. Once every 2 weeks.
One every 2 weeks feels a lot more manageable. I could actually go for a hike. I did the Chief, you know what I mean? Like I have time to go do stuff now on my days off rather than fill it with chores and then editing.
Right.
It just opens it up.
It makes us feel bad because it's like, it's not like we hate doing it, right? But it's just like, it's too much sometimes.
Life happens.
Yeah.
Exactly. Have you guys thought about like expanding outside of not just like podcast content, but like I don't know, vlogs or like
Mm-hmm.
or, like reaction videos.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, we've kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
The short answer is yes. I mean, I don't know about vlogs or anything like that.
Right.
I don't know, like,
You know,
like it's a whole new skill to learn vlogging, and I think one step at a time, like an incremental thing we could pivot off to do. Like I want to set up just a booth the same kind of way y'all did it at the Chinatown Festival, but just ask a really targeted question. I have the question that I'm like ready to ask. I have it in my podcast notes here.
wait, what do you mean set up a booth? Like just outside? Or like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like set up like a booth outside in public. Like set up like a table.
We were just talking about that.
Just talking about that.
I want to hit the streets, man.
Yeah.
I want to get out there.
We
I wanted to ask
Literally
people.
just talking about it. Yeah.
The first question, once we eventually get around to doing it, and we will at some point. I just don't know when it's going to be, but I want to ask people, what did you learn about yourself this year, and kind of like start that down a conversation of like mental health and just self-reflection.
Right.
So yeah, I want to do more than a podcast.
Yeah.
It's a YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
There is this podcast. Have you seen? It's like a podcast, but outside.
Yeah, I've seen podcasts outside. No, they're sick. They're sick.
It's like, yeah, that's what we were thinking. Like, might be doing.
Go like UBC or Granville Strip or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just see what's going on. But
Bro, Granville Strip at night, that'd be chaos.
yeah, it was chaos when I was driving back from Park Royal the day of this machete thing. Traffic was
thinking that.
insane.
There's a machete thing?
Dude, there's been a few machete things.
The one last Saturday, I'm driving back from West Van.
Wait, what?
I'm like driving on House Street. I'm like, why is there so much traffic? I look over and left. They blocked off Nelson going into Granville. And it said special event. Ironically, it said special event. I'm like, what kind of special events going on? The police blocked this whole area. Like, what the fuck?
was
Like, they didn't have a better detour. Get home, machete attack. People got shot. I'm like, oh fuck.
Crazy.
Was that same day as the fireworks then?
No, that was the Roxy one.
Oh yeah, that one. No, that was more recent.
Yeah.
More than one.
That was more recent. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Jeez.
Maybe not Granville Strip actually.
Yeah, right. I mean, setting up during the day wouldn't be any better. You know?
Now, what was sort of, I guess, I think you probably gotten this question a lot, but like, what was the reason for starting the podcast and specifically mental health? Like, were you guys always someone aware of, mental health and focusing on that, or like being spiritual, or like, I guess, what was the reason?
Well, you started.
The reason why I started the podcast, there were two reasons. One was I felt it was during the pandemic, right? So it was like 2021. I felt as though I was trapped just doing the same thing with my job, and it didn't allow for me to have much creativity in my life. I've never felt that I was a creative person, but I knew that I enjoyed talking, and I like having conversations about just how people are doing, right? I find it fun to kind of connect about that stuff. But so I needed to like satisfy doing something creative in my life. And then I also knew, because it's this like topic area that I was semi-passionate about. I've like raised money for Movember in the past, like for a few years, and just had some connection to mental health stuff that made me care enough to talk about it with everybody. And I knew that I've always been super open with my friends. I've always been, yeah, we talked about it on our episode. I think I said that I consider myself too open sometimes, but my friends have always been very receptive to whatever I have going on. And that I wanted to translate through a podcast and create a medium where people who listen to our podcast feel the same way, feel that they're a part of that conversation with friends, and feel that they can share their stuff, whether it's to real people in their lives or DM us and talk about what's going on with you. And I feel like it's done that and continues to do that. So yeah, but I don't know about cabs. I don't know. I actually never asked you why you felt like that you would want to be a co-host.
Well, the first time, or when you had me on, I don't know what episode it was.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
Come on.
Oh,
I know that.
respect. I had like just recently, well, it was like almost a year later, but just went through a breakup. And then he had me come on and talk about breakups essentially. And it was like, if I felt good about it because I wanted to get like an outlet and just talk about it with someone in general. Cause I've never really done that, had that like one-on-one talk.
Right.
So that was like the main reason I wanted to come on first. And then I just realized I had like a pretty good, after every episode I was on, I had a pretty good self-esteem boost. Just felt a little more confident after. And I felt good. I felt like a little bit of a rush after, because I don't normally
interesting.
talk about feelings with people in general.
Right.
So yeah, and then it just enjoyed, and we get like comments and DMs every once in a while, and that felt really good. You know, it feels like we're doing something good. Yeah.
So the podcast was almost kind of like therapy in a way.
Yeah, no, it still feels like therapy for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I
interesting.
still feel like I'm growing every episode.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Why? I guess I'll ask both like opposite questions. But Reuben, why do you feel like you are so open in expressing your feelings and so comfortable with that?
I'd say it has a lot to do with my mom. I've talked about that plenty of times. I'm an only child, and I'm raised by a single mom. My dad was, I shouldn't say dad, my father, my biological father, was a sperm donor. So I don't know that side of things. I've never had like a consistent father figure in my life. So like, I feel like my life could have gone obviously one of two ways. Either this could have been a great relationship with me and my mom, or it could have been shit. My mom's an amazing mom. She's the best mom, right? Like everybody's mom is the best mom, but my mom's the best mom.
My mom's the best mom.
Yeah. What you call my mom? But she maintained a pretty open dialogue at home growing up, and like whatever was going on in my life, like she would always obviously be able to tell when something's going wrong. Your mom always knows when something's wrong in your life, right? And she would make it feel like I really could share what was going on. It had gotten to a point where there's just like no secrets between me and my mom. Like my mom knows probably every detail of my personal life.
Really? That's amazing.
Which I'm really happy that I have it, and I still have it, right? Like I've moved out, and I still see my mom probably at least once a week, and we just catch up, talk about what's going on. And I think that openness translated to me feeling that like, oh, you can just be open with people. And then that came into my friendships, right? Always talking about what's going on, never really holding back, hard on your sleeve kind of deal, whatever bullshit, you know what I mean? I never like vamping about myself. I feel like I'm talking too much about that, but like, I had a really good example of it. And I think that made me feel like that's normal. Right. And then I took that and
it's like a interesting dynamic, because I wouldn't say like I grew up with like the opposite, but like, you know, grew up in a house full of dudes. So it's not really like, it's not like everything was like those conversations were like shunned, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just, we never really had those conversations.
You have like a bunch of brothers?
Yeah. I have 2 older brothers, and then
you're the youngest?
my dad. Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
they're all just as tall, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Just as tall.
Yeah.
Jeez. So I'm trying to think, has there been a point where, because you're very open, but has that ever caused people to be like taken aback and be like, oh, you're so open to expressing things?
Yeah. Maybe, yes. I can imagine points in like maybe previous relationships or something where like I might be like wanting to have a conversation that the person's not ready to have, and I'm not perfect at navigating that and just positioning like why I want to have a conversation. It's kind of backfired sometimes, I think, with like things in my career.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't hold back on like when I'm feeling a certain way. It's very clear if I'm just like pissed off about something, or if I think that something should be done differently, I will say it should be done differently. So like openness doesn't necessarily always mean like open about feelings and like being open about mental health. Like that's what the podcast space is for, yes. But like I'm open about everything. Right. I don't tend to hide if I'm feeling a certain way. At least if I don't feel like there's a negative consequence possible, I'll bring something up, you know what I mean? But sometimes I'm wrong and there is a negative consequence possible. Like at work, I might have at one point said that policies were stupid, or like, and I'm saying this kind of thing to managers, you know what I mean? Like I'm telling them like the way that we're running something is dumb. Like how can you guys not see something a certain way? Oh. And I think that can kind of backfire and be like, oh, you have to respect like how we're running things in this store or whatever, you know, like that kind of idea.
You see it in like a professional way, or you straight up just say? Like,
I just say it. I try to just. It's a bit no filter-ish sometimes for at least professional life. For things with personal life, like talking to friends and loved ones, that kind of idea. That's not just saying things. I think through what I'm saying and try to take into account how someone might react to it. But
right,
yeah.
Kabir, are there times where you feel like you should have expressed something And
Oh.
you haven't.
billions of times, more often than not, for sure.
Really?
But definitely getting better with it
Yeah.
because of the podcast, for sure. Yeah.
Is there other outlets outside of the podcast, or is the podcasting mainly sort of your main way of like expressing?
Definitely like the biggest like growth factor outside of my personal life. Yeah, I would say that's the main outlet for sure.
Right.
Because the problem I have is conversation, like communicating feelings and all that. But yeah, podcast is the main thing.
And that's because you grew up, you said, in a household of boys who didn't really express.
Yeah, it just wasn't really. It was normal to not talk about it. Just like like don't cry. Just like handle your shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Just, just normal shit.
That's what I noticed. Oh, sorry.
No,
I've noticed that like since we started this podcast, like I've gotten a lot better at that.
Yeah.
Like, before I didn't say shit. I think I said on your podcast as well. Like I didn't say shit, and then like now I'm actually like being more open, and I feel like this podcast has helped a lot with it. So I think I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps, man.
Because I feel like it's, I mean, to talk about like men being men for a second, you know what I mean? Like this is our thing. It is just so easy not to talk about stuff, and it's I feel like at the same time there's some value in that, in being the guy that just holds it together, you know. And I think that there is a reason why historically men have been like that, you know what I mean? Like being the Rock, you know, not Dwayne Johnson.
I was
but
thinking
like
the
the
same
Rock.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Being the Rock in like families or in difficult times, like you turn towards the man. At least that's what like society has told you to be like, you know. But I think that the world is turning and pivoting to these conversations being more normal, right? Aziza was saying that, whereas like it's almost more normal now to ask somebody and say like, hey, how's your day going? And for someone to say like, not great, like that's okay to have that conversation now. And I think that men are gonna get better at it for sure.
For sure, bro.
For sure, bro. Yeah.
Our episode with you guys was back in, I want to say June.
I want to say June.
So it's been about
It's been a minute.
damn near what 2-3 months, 4 months. How long has it been?
2
I think right now.
It's August.
August. That's 8. So 2 months, right?
Yeah.
How have you guys like in the last 2 months? How have you guys been? Honestly,
How have you been, really?
Sun's been out, so I've been doing way better. Never realized I had like seasonal depression until just recently. But yeah.
So it's-
Feeling pretty good.
Feeling pretty
these days.
good?
Yeah.
do you get like reverse seasonal depression? Like where like seasonal depression is like you get sad in the winter, you get happy in the summer, but like when you're not super happy in the summer, you get depressed again because like, why am I not happy right now? Like I should be happy. The sun's out. And you just get like this reverse like
I
seasonal
haven't
depression.
thought about it that much,
Okay.
but
I'm not-
now you're scaring me.
Now he's depressed.
Yeah.
I never said that.
He's the first.
Just edit it out in real life. Just like
Yeah.
rewind in real life.
I've been good. Yeah, like everything in my life has been solid except for work.
Except for work.
Except for work, like personal life is solid. My girlfriend went away for a while. She was working in Haida Gwaii, working at a private fishing lodge, just doing like serving, hospitality kind of stuff. But she's back now, and so I'm just happy that she's back. You know, get to spend like some of the summer with her, and she's moved in properly now as well too. She'd been like semi moved in beforehand, but yeah, it's good to have her back. Time with friends is improving now that
I haven't seen this guy online in a long time.
well,
Sorry, not a long time.
it's
Just
been a week and a half because I haven't been online since she's been home because
Fair
I've
enough,
been
man.
catching up on time with her. But by doing the podcast every 2 weeks, I feel like that's opening up more social time. I did go to like a coworker thing, and that's not you guys, but still. So like social life is fine. Personal life is good. And then mental health has felt overall solid, but a lot of the stress I deal with through work kind of just seeps back into the other aspects of my life. To summarize what's going on with my work stuff, I'm in a role that I don't excel in, but I've been at the company for 7 years. It was 7 years last week.
Oh,
So it's like I've put in work. Yeah, sure. I've put in work with the company, and I've done a lot of really good stuff. But through listening to and trusting in someone who was like my development manager at the time, 2 years ago, I took this role. they were then like a couple months later asked to leave the company. But I ended up in this role that I don't do well in, which is sales. I'm not a pushy guy. If someone is having a good conversation with me and I've laid out the information that you need to make the best choice, I'll give you my recommendations. And if you say I'm good, then I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel any animosity towards that. And because of that, the reviews I get from the people I help, always good. Like, I have over the 7 years a 91% rating of how well I do with people, but I can't sell a certain thing. And so because of that, I am like not meeting the expectations of my role because it's a sales role, right? And I can't move into another role unless I'm doing well in my role. So it's like this paradox. Sorry, I hit the mic there. I'm in this like catch-22 kind of thing where I know I can excel in another role because I've been in the other roles and I've done really well, but I can't leave until I do well in this role.
But how do you sell something to someone who doesn't want to buy the thing?
You push it, man. That's
Really?
not in my character. And I can't do that.
Not a good car salesman.
I would be the worst car salesman on the
wouldn't be good
planet.
either.
You would not be pushing anything off that
Is
lot.
that what sales is? Just pushing people to buy?
It's convincing people, right? At the end of the day, you are upselling in any sales position, I think. It doesn't matter what some company might disguise it as, right? Yes, the things that you sell and whatever job might be good for the person, but you got to convince them that they need it, right? That's your job.
Convincing people to buy.
Convincing people, yeah, you are negotiating at the end of the day.
You got to create
right?
the demand.
Yeah, yeah. You got to make them see the demand, right? And I just go at it differently. So that puts me in a spot where I'm no longer excelling at my job. There's pressure to do better. That seeps into my rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like when I'm off work, I'm not able to just clock out and disconnect anymore. Now I'm thinking about it. You know, I'm thinking about what's next. I'm thinking about how can I improve this? Can I at all improve it, or do I just get out of there? Mm-hmm. You know, so that's the stuff I'm dealing with there. But otherwise, to answer your question, everything's good, and like everything else is good. I could not be happier. I mean, Kid Cudi got canceled.
Yeah, well, we got postponed. But I'm like devastated.
How come it got postponed?
There was no fucking. Just got an email this morning at like 7 a.m.
Was he in October?
No, he's
Bro,
supposed
he was
to be
in 2 days,
yeah,
man.
Really?
On Tuesday, he's supposed to be here.
Didn't fan like throw water bottles at him?
That was at
That's
Miami.
fucked up.
Rolling Loud?
Yeah, it was at Rolling Loud.
yeah.
So Kanye canceled and they subbed him in for they subbed Kid Cudi in.
What do you think about that? Like subbing in Kid Cudi for Kanye?
It was a bad move. Well, they fucked over Kid Cudi for sure. They fucked him real good.
Who else could they have replaced him with?
Anyone but Cudi at
Yeah,
that point.
honestly.
Because everyone's pissed about him being friends with Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
If you're a Kanye fan.
You saw that post that Kanye posted recently, like Skeet Davidson's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. And then
Bottom
you had
said
those-
Cudi's supposed to play at the funeral but got scared of a bottle.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh,
I saw it. Yeah, it was at the
I think it's still up on his Instagram right now.
No, he deleted it. He deleted it the
There's
same day.
screenshots up there.
Yeah, there definitely are.
You see that?
I didn't see that.
Oh, you should have seen
I
it.
didn't
It was
see
the day after the news broke of Kim K and Pete Davidson breaking up,
Yeah.
right?
They broke up?
Yeah.
What do you
Did
expect,
you not
man?
You didn't know?
No.
Oh,
Oh, man.
are you okay?
Okay. That's awesome.
You have music questions for them. You were talking about that car.
Oh, yeah, because when we came to your place, you guys were playing the Kendrick album. I think
Yeah.
it just came out. So I was going to ask if you guys listened to Game's album recently.
The
No.
Game.
Yeah.
He has a new
He
album.
came out with an album recently
Oh,
on
shit.
Friday, and he dropped a 10-minute diss track towards Eminem.
No.
Completely unprovoked. It's called The Black Some Shady. We played it in the car on the way to Chinatown. Took damn near the whole ride. And I just wanted to know if you guys had any thoughts on it, but I guess
I'll
Game's nowhere
definitely,
close.
I'll definitely listen to the Game's album.
literally
'cause I
10
do
minutes.
like the Game, but why? Why is he going at Eminem?
I have no idea. But the album's produced by Kanye and Hit Boy. So
Oh,
production's
shit.
pretty good.
It's gotta be good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good album, but it's very long, and there's also a 10-minute diss track for no reason.
Just drop it in.
Literally just dropped it in.
He's like imitating Eminem. and
Yeah.
Dropping
Oh,
a bunch of
is he?
rap. Yeah. And
What?
it sounds like, well,
Yeah.
not sounds like him, but like trying to sound like
It's a 10-minute track of Game copying different flows from Eminem's different songs. And I think there's one song with like Lose Yourself or Go Crazy where he goes like, like whatever. He did that in the song too. Like he just straight up copied Eminem while dissing Eminem.
Yeah.
What's this
No,
guy's problem?
What's this guy's deal?
I'm hoping Eminem will clap back, but you're saying he won't.
I don't think he will.
I don't know if
Game
he,
talks
I don't
a
know
lot
if
of
he
shit,
wants to.
man.
He does, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if
Yeah.
Eminem would at this point.
Yeah.
I think the last Game album I listened to was a documentary.
Documentary too?
Yeah. And then was it 2.5?
Yeah.
Is there a 2.5?
There was
Yeah.
a 2.5. It was a black and white picture with blue and red or something like that.
Mhm.
And then that was like 2018, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your guys' thoughts on Andrew Tate?
Oh,
The whole podcast world is on their
Turn the
at
camera
the edge of their seat.
so man,
Don't worry, we
dude,
can
you
edit
gotta
this, so-
tiptoe how you talk about this stuff. You go first, Cabs.
Fine. I think
nowhere. I didn't expect that.
I think this guy's a marketing genius.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the main thing. I think
Okay.
he's just.
I agree.
I don't think everything he believes in everything that he's saying. I think some things definitely hit, and they hit people, and like a lot of the things trigger people.
Mm-hmm.
A few things make sense.
Mm.
I don't know.
What color
I
is
just
your
think-
Bugatti?
Yeah, Bugatti.
Top G.
Yeah, Top G. I like Top G. I don't know, man. He's a confident guy.
He's extremely memeable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he knows it.
Yeah, that's that marketing genius bit.
Yeah. Do you see the what was it recently? Like people have actively been trying to cancel him recently. There's like that post
Yeah.
where they're like, oh, we should stop giving him attention because he's creating like a toxic thing for like young boys to look up to him.
I'm trying to censor him.
Yeah, and then he responded by saying he put a post out that I think I forgot what he was going to donate money to, but like every like that he would get on that post.
He was donating money to 2 charities.
Right.
I don't know what the charities were. Maybe it wasn't even designated in the post, but he was going to donate to an organization that would support women who were victims of domestic violence.
Okay.
And then something for men's mental health charities as well. He was donating like $1 to each for every like on that post.
Men's mental health.
Mhm.
Wow,
Yeah.
And he says, what did he say? It's like depression is fake or something. Well, okay, not exactly like that, but he said like psychologists are bullshit or something.
Yeah, he says a lot of that.
He also says that you shouldn't drink sparkling water, like, or whatever the fuck he says. Like the way I saw it when I first saw his stuff start popping up on my timeline, who's this Andrew Tate guy? I started thinking like immediately that this has to be satire. Right. So right away, like it's clicking in my head that this guy's just like, he's just doing this for shits and giggles.
Yep.
He knows he's saying stuff that's absurd. But if you took it at face value and you took what he says to be true and assume that he does believe what he's saying and he does have this massive platform, and the way that he does his marketing is he just pays people to make videos of him and then they get money from the people who make videos of him.
Pyramid
once they get-
scheme.
it's a pyramid scheme,
Yeah.
right? So his content is everywhere. So I do get it from the perspective of like someone who is susceptible and young and doesn't have the critical thinking maybe to realize that this is horse shit and it's satire, will see this and believe it's true and buy into it. And I do think there's danger in that.
There is.
But then the other side of the argument that I start to think about is the whole free speech thing.
Yeah.
Right? They censored Trump. They banned him off Twitter. I agree that the guy's an asshat, but should you ban him off Twitter? I don't know. I don't have the answers. I'm not a politician. I don't know anything about this. I don't make policy.
And then
for
how
online
much responsibility do you put on the listeners? You know, like people are watching.
Bro,
Are you
it's the
supposed to take
fucking-
everything literally?
It's the classic. This is cyberbullying related, but back in the day, Tyler the Creator laughed at cyberbullying being a thing. How can it even be a thing? Just turn off the computer.
Yeah.
But fuck, like the people who made TikTok, the people who are trying to make reels decent, they have found a way to get you hooked, right? And so I ignored his clips. I would scroll past them, but still they kept showing up in my timeline.
They're
You know what I
persistent.
mean? So you can make that effort. I even hit not interested on some of them. They still showed up
I
next
blocked
week,
50
man.
accounts.
And it's like they come out of nowhere. So I don't know who you put the blame on. You can't.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't put the blame on the creator. He's just making shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So maybe it is on the platforms to ban him. I don't know.
So, okay. So more like just censoring him.
I'm not a proponent
Yeah,
for satire. This is a
yeah.
tough one.
It's very tough.
If you don't see it as satire, if you see it as truth, it's fucked up. If you see it as satire and you can just watch these clips and think, wow, that's absurd. How could someone say that? Put that on a TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some of the shit he says could fit into like what Michael Scott used to say on The Office. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of dumb, ignorant stuff.
Yeah.
Yet it's Andrew Tate and this jacked bald guy who yells at you with sunglasses on and smokes cigars, and that makes it seem worse.
Yeah.
You know?
He's also a 4-time kickboxing world
Yeah,
champion.
dude. Have you
right?
seen him kickbox? He can kickbox.
He's good.
He fights.
Yeah, he's legit.
I was saying to Andrew earlier on the drive to, I think this was while we're playing the freaking Game album, that freaking 10-minute diss track.
And I was on the way home.
I was only home. Okay, I can't even tell anymore. I was saying how like this guy's from Eastern Europe, so it's like it kind of creates this question of like, because most people who are canceling him are like of Western, right? Because Western is more woke, whatever, right? So it's like it kind of begs questions like, can you cancel someone that's not even part of that culture? Because in Eastern Europe, I don't know what it's like over there, but I assume they're not like California liberally. Like I assume they're not the same level of like abortion, like LGBTQ and stuff like that. So it's like, what do you do then? Because the internet's international, so it's like, can you cancel him for where he sits on Western values when he's not even from the West? It's like I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. The internet is international, man. And like, yeah, I don't know what things are like in other places. We only live here, you know. But I think canceling people's weird, man. I just think it's weird. I don't think people should be censored. I don't think people should be blocked. If you don't like something, fucking don't watch it, man.
There's always someone
that's what
new.
I think.
Like Trump ran his stuff, whatever. He's gone now. Andrew Tate's here, run his stuff, whatever. After he's gone, there's gonna be someone
There's
else.
something else.
There's
that pisses
always a
people
new
off,
person
man.
saying all this type of shit. So it's like,
Hell, that could be Kabir.
might be starting right now. Andrew Tate might be on his way out right now. Kabir is stepping in.
Yeah, no, that's not me. I'm definitely not that guy you want to listen
Hey, you don't know. I never know.
to. Life advice. No.
Now, is that the responsibility, especially like the younger kids, on the parents?
Yeah.
It depends. I think, for younger kids, like what? Under.
Fucking hot take, man. Kids shouldn't have a phone until they're like 16.
Oh, really? That
There's too much stuff that
Yeah.
you can't control, and it's way too accessible. Like when I see people like buying phones for their kids, or you see like the iPad kid at a table in a restaurant, you know what I mean? Like they're like head down glued into this thing. Like you're fucking that kid up. Like you don't see the repercussions of it yet, but that kid's not learning social cues the right way. They're potentially watching stuff. Like there's ads on kids stuff sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yep.
If you don't have like the kids YouTube thing turned on, you get ads. Even then, things are targeted towards kids. I was in McDonald's the other day and I was going to order just a McFlurry. I was in the lineup and I see they got the Pokemon cards blasted up on the wall, and it's like, that's not marketed to me. I still ordered a Happy Meal and got the Pokemon cards, but a kid's gonna walk in there and see that, and like these companies advertise to kids, and it's just so easy to do it and just rely on it, fall back on it, and assume like, oh, this is just normal now. This is how people are. Kids have phones. I don't think kids should have phones until they're like late high school. Like y'all can figure that shit out. Just be friends. Just show up to school, be friends. After 16, like fuck it, whatever. Like that's on you.
When did you guys get your first phone?
I was 13.
13.
yeah, actually, a
was
Nokia
13.
flip phone, but you know,
Oh,
there was no
yeah.
internet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It
Yeah.
was, I didn't even use it.
Yeah.
It was a brick.
I think mine was like a Samsung Ace 2X. It was like a little tiny touchscreen
Yeah.
Samsung phone.
Yeah,
But even in like high school, when the internet sort of started becoming more mainstream. I guess it was mainstream, but like more like mobile stuff. I was just playing like Clash of Clans or whatever, right? I wasn't like on YouTube, like seeing Andrew Tate
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
Yeah, I had just a BlackBerry Curve. Like for us, it was like BBM, man.
No,
Like,
I'd
that
never
was
had
our
a
social
BlackBerry.
media.
Yeah.
If you had BBM, you get to ping everybody in class.
I had the LG Rumor too. I fucking love the slide.
Oh, I
Slide
always
phones.
wanted those. The little sidekicks.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so cool.
pretty sick.
So you don't think like there's a way to educate? You don't think any level of education is going to be able to help, you know, these kids understand the?
Definitely could be for sure, but like that's like a lot of effort for the education system, right? To
Right.
like
Put that into the.
to like just inject it into the thing and then sub something else out because they're already learning so much at a young age.
I think part of it too is like parents are not, they don't want to have that conversation. Because like I remember when I was like 10, I was like, I went to my dad, I'm like, yo, can I get Facebook? He's like, nah. He didn't explain to me why I shouldn't have Facebook. He didn't explain to me why I shouldn't be on that stuff. He just said no. I mean, like, what? tell a kid, no, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I got Facebook. Then
All of a sudden, I'm of age.
Now I'm here doing this, whatever. My birthday's in 1970, whatever,
Yeah.
allegedly. But it's like, I feel like parents should also like want to have the conversation. Like if they just shun their kid and be like, oh no, you can't go on the internet. No, you can't do this. You can't do that. Their kid's gonna find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Kids are sneaky, man.
But I feel like maybe the generation for us, are we even the same generation? Basically,
say so.
kind of. Yeah.
A couple years off.
But yeah, I feel like the kids from this generation, we will be able to educate them a little better on that just because we
right.
grew up with that. And
Yeah.
I think the generation.
Will we, or is it too late?
Maybe we're already messed up, right? That's true. But because we sort of grew up with it, kind of, and understand the dangers of it. So hopefully we will educate our kids and it might be better. But
I agree with that. Like educating our kids, yeah.
right.
I don't think we're going to do shit to help the current generation that's going through school. I mean, we're people can try, but I don't think we have a direct hand in that. I mean, thinking about from like an education standpoint, you want to educate around how to better use social media and understand the dangers of it. You're right that you would need to introduce a pretty substantial infrastructure. I think if you're going to introduce it formally into like education, like make it part of the curriculum
Sub
to
out
understand
math.
what you're doing. Sub out math. We don't need it. We
Yeah.
just don't. But the counter argument is always going to be that the world needs technology and we have to accept that it's part of our world. And if you want to move forward and if you want to be successful, you're going to need to understand how technology works and embrace it. But you have to highlight the dangers of it. There's countless documentaries that have come out over the last while, but the main one that stands out in my head, what was it? The
Social dilemma.
Social dilemma. Yeah, that one. And in there you have executives coming forward that have left the companies that just see the danger in it. And they like the company will not stop. You know what I mean? It's going to continue doing what it does without full consideration. Yeah, money drives it all, and that's fine. But without any real consideration to the dangers of affecting a young, malleable mind. But maybe it's worth introducing some kind of curriculum around it, but it would have to be a pretty big focus because that's a very large topic to even have a conversation about. You know what I mean? Like we're not going to solve anything in a 15-minute block of this conversation today talking about this, but I don't know. I hate seeing kids on phones. It's just, it seems weird to me.
But it's also like we're talking about the situation where it is now, like where are we at right now. By the time we have kids, we're on something else.
Yeah.
Like what our parents were like with Facebook and Kick and whatever. Like that's what we're gonna be like with whatever is coming next. Like we may not be in the position to help them because we don't know the new technology is coming out.
That's a good point.
Always evolving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary.
What if maybe we learn from it and then TikTok's like the last thing that kills your brain? Maybe they well, I mean, what's that? There's a thing that came out, something for friends. What's it called?
BeReal.
BeReal. I hate it. I didn't hop on it. I didn't even bother joining because
haven't
that's
done
not what I
it.
want
I'm on
social
it.
media for. Did you see
What is-
BeReal?
no.
Megan sent it to us. Our
The
friend
Bee movie?
Megan sent us a link for it. Yeah, the B movie.
You like jazz?
Do you like jazz?
Do you like jazz?
I like jazz. Did you know Jeff Goldblum has a jazz album?
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
Fly?
actually not bad. You should check it out.
Let's check it out.
Be real.
BeReal. It's like
Yeah.
it's social media just for your friends. Like it's trying to recapture what social media started out as, which was like a
Right.
way to be connected with friends. And maybe our generation, millennials, is going to be like, oh yeah, that's something cool. Maybe I want to hop on that. I don't think the younger generation will. I don't think they give a shit about
No,
BeReal.
because it has to be cool.
It has to be cool. BeReal's not cool.
I feel like it's popping off though, low key.
Is it?
it?
Kind
They
of.
got advertisements going.
Well, we're
Yeah.
both on it. Are you on it?
I just started on it.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't have many friends on it.
Maybe we're too old.
But you can also see other strangers. It's not just your friends.
Really?
So you can go and explore and be like, oh, what the hell?
What's
is
the goddamn point then?
You can change your settings though. Mine's set to only friends.
this?
Like I don't let everyone see it because sometimes I put my license plate in by accident.
Yeah.
So it's just only friends for me.
The whole point is to be like authentic on the app. You know, you take the
How fucking dumb of a sentence is that? Be authentic on an app. Give me a break. Like
that's
hold
the
it off
point. You
too.
gotta be
it's an
real.
app.
But you can hold off on it. Like when you get the notification, you can just not open the app because you until you open the app, you don't have to take the photo. So you can just wait until you're doing something cool, then open the app and be like, oh yo, doing
My
this.
life's so sick.
Yeah, I'm here like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
taking a shit right now. Ah, fuck it.
Yeah, because it takes the front and takes the back. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so this is be authentic. But what's interesting is Casey Neistat had an app called Beam that was similar idea, but instead of filming like that, you have to put it to your chest so you don't see what you're filming, which is like so stupid looking back, right? And he even said that. But that was the whole point, to just be authentic. But it failed.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see.
What do you think about like the idea that social media, the major platforms, at least at this point, are all racing to be like the one super social media? Like Instagram trying to introduce Reels to compete with TikTok. Maybe they're trying to improve their direct messaging system. What the hell is Notes? I still don't understand what Notes is on Instagram. If you guys have seen that,
Twitter.
Yeah,
It's basically Twitter.
Basically, right? Like they're trying to
Facebook
consolidate
story.
everything into one
Status.
app. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Facebook status.
Facebook status, but on Instagram. And it feels like they're trying to put everything in one place.
It's pretty scary because if you look at all the major companies in the U.S., like that are based in the U.S., like Amazon owns the Washington Post.
Really?
Yeah, they bought it a long time ago.
I don't know.
Like Facebook owns Instagram, and then Instagram telling the Reels and Notes or whatever.
Whoa. It's Meta.
Oh, Meta.
Meta. Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, Zucky. Sorry, Zuck, man. But like, I think there was something recently where like HBO or some of these major film franchises bought another film franchise. Now there's like less competition or something like that. It's like these companies are buying a lot of shit and they're owning a lot of shit too. So it's kind of scary.
That's not authentic. You get the same people just running all the stuff. You're not getting different perspectives out there. It's not truly what you think it is. Every social media has influence somewhere telling you to think a certain way. If you opened up all of our TikToks and then you went across the world and you opened up the people there's TikToks, it's going to be very different. Same app.
Well, how do I feel about being that possibility of a one super app? Is what you're asking.
Is that the metaverse?
Well,
Is that the metaverse?
Metaverse?
I guess it could be the metaverse.
Could be the
man.
metaverse. But you're saying the Notes is stupid, which I agree. But when stories came out on Instagram, people
was dumb.
People said that was stupid, right? Now everyone's loving it and using it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, like Instagram's being hated on right now, but maybe in a few years, it's like, oh shoot, everyone loves it.
If they can get it right before other people can get it right, then they will be the spot, you know?
Because right now TikTok's the one that's still dominating, and I think TikTok's going to be there for a while.
Well, I mean, Snapchat was there. Look what happened to Snapchat. Facebook was
Dropped
there.
the ball, man.
Facebook's gone. Well, not gone, but
Facebook's still
Facebook's
gonna
not what it used to be though.
It's just older people using
Kick
it.
used to be a huge thing, and like I
Kick?
don't know who uses that still.
KIK, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about those
Facebook, yeah.
Snapchat glasses? Those were gonna come.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the spectacles or
was
whatever.
Yeah.
Google Glass as well. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that came and go. What's it called? MySpace. Like
Tumblr.
yeah, Tumblr was a
Tumblr.
huge one.
Mm-hmm.
Like stuff just Pinterest was huge at one point too. Slowly coming back.
And it's just got like their niche fans that still use this
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well,
Fuck social media.
I think in the future, Neuralink, it's all in your head.
Yeah, you don't need anything. This is why we don't need math. Because
We're gonna be
Neuralink
cyborgs.
will take over.
Well, I
You
mean,
don't have to think anymore.
get rid of calc and pre-calc. And
Just get rid of everything. Just put it in your brain.
We're in school.
We're basically cyborgs, you know? Have you guys heard Elon Musk sit on Joe Rogan podcast? It's like we're basically cyborgs already. But there's just that we just gotta get rid of that latency between us picking up our phone and going to Google. Once we get rid of that latency, well, Neuralink,
I guess.
but whatever,
That makes sense.
we're basically cyborgs. Which is kind of, when I heard that, I was like, wait, that's.
Would you pop that thing in your head?
Def gotta try it.
Dude,
As long as it's safe.
As long as it's
I'll be the last one. I'll wait for everyone else to do it and see what happens.
Sounds like the vaccine.
Man, yeah, kind of.
I totally would.
Vaccine your brain, man.
Yeah, what's up?
No, I was just thinking Pfizer in your head, man. It's crazy.
It's already there. According to this guy.
What, Pfizer?
Yeah, it's already in your head. It's a chip, microchip.
I never said that.
I mean, you look away when you get the shot. You don't see what they did.
Where do you guys see the podcast going? On Your Mental. What's the
What is on your mental right now?
what is On Your Mental right now?
What is on your
Is that why you named it On Your Mental?
Yeah, because it's what's on your mind.
Yeah.
I think there's a J. Cole lyric. It says something about get something off my mental.
What song is
Stuck in my head. It's in.
We're gonna do the after hours episodes. Hanging brain.
We
was
do.
it?
What's gonna be the name of our? First of all, the song is it's the Wet Dreams. But Wet Dreams.
Andrew knows about that one.
Yeah,
Good song.
we were gonna. He came up with the name of it.
What dreams? Oh, On Your Mental.
Hanging Brain.
Oh, Hanging Brain.
Hanging Brain. We could do an after hours podcast session where like just right after the episode, we just continue and like whatever new thoughts came out.
Oh, we were
interesting.
gonna get
Oh,
we were gonna get
talking about
baked.
Oh yeah, we were gonna get baked.
and then do it.
It was gonna be called Hanging Brain.
That sounds amazing.
Is that like Patreon content or just
Potentially. Who knows, man? I don't know what kind of market there would be for people who want to hear that
you never
shit.
know, man.
I had an idea, and I'll eventually. Who knows? I shouldn't promise that I'll do it, but the idea was to get super, super baked and then like really critically review, like places, like a movie theater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like rate the Silver City
Yeah.
down on Riverport, but just like super baked, but be really critical. Like, how's the popcorn? Do they provide too much butter? What's the washrooms like? What are the seats looking like? Are the floors sticky? Like, get really detailed and give like really specific ratings for these things.
I thought about that
I
once.
thought that
like,
would be fun.
what if
But
we just start an episode with like tequila shots and we'll just like, obviously not here because you live here and you're not on stuff. But like we just like sit here, we have tequila, we have like whatever, we'll just be smoking, we get baked, we'll have the mushrooms.
yes. OIM 20.
yes.
Use your code.
Yes.
Fungalfriend.com.
I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but I remember you guys had the mushroom name was like, that'd be sick.
Mhm.
Just being completely fucked up on the podcast, just record and next morning just listen to it and see if it's
See what
safe to
happens.
post.
Yeah.
It's like reminds me of Jimmy Tatros. What
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
with-
Drunk questions.
Yeah, drunk questions.
Mhm. I
But they would
miss
just-
those.
They would just take a shot every, I don't know, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something.
That might be our episode on 20th.
What?
On 20th, that might happen.
On the 20th? Oh,
We'll see what happens. Anyways,
what is? Yeah, but what is the?
Where's the podcast going? Was that the question? Or?
yeah.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Just continue to do it.
What's the dream here for the podcast?
No more dreams. That's my dream.
Oh,
I don't know about you.
Whoa,
No more dreams?
no more dreams.
Well, I mean, I'm not as like,
Oh,
you're you're spearheading the way here. So
I don't want to assume that anything will happen. I guess you can hope that things will happen. But I got to be okay with things not happening a certain way, right? The dream, if you will, remains the same, which would be to have this be a full-time thing and that I
Okay.
don't need to be working a job to pay my bills, that this would pay my bills, and that I can focus on having more of these conversations, creating more of a space where people can come and feel heard, warm, welcomed, included, and learn to be more open about their mental health. That's the dream. But the reality is that it doesn't pay your bills, and so you can't dive into that. So it will happen if it happens, but I have no idea how to make it happen any sooner or faster, or if it's even on the right path. But I'm trying to learn to not care in the best possible way. Not care as in
yeah.
give up on it, but not care as in if it doesn't do that, that's okay. We've already been successful because we've had those people that have reached out that have said it's helped. And if that's happened, cool. That's all we could have asked for it.
What was that thing you? Oh, sorry. What was that thing you say? Like we don't have expectations or whatever.
I think so.
Oh, I remember he had like a saying he would say a couple times, like
We have no yeah, but that basically sums us
Yeah.
our sentiment. We have like no expectations, and I always say, as bad as that sounds, it's just like we just don't expect anything out of it, and it's like whatever it comes is like, oh, that's nice because we didn't expect it. It's kind of like expecting. Well, we don't expect disappointment. We just expect nothing, and I think that's the right mindset. But at times, I always say like, oh, maybe we should be doing or trying harder and expecting certain things, but at the same time, it's like.
but then it would become less fun.
That's true. That's true. So, are there like certain things you try to do to make that dream closer, or are you just chill?
Well, I put so much pressure on trying to like make sick TikToks and hope that they fucking do well, but then it hit this weird block where like I dropped down to like 10% of the views that we were getting.
that
and
happens
it's
a lot.
You
unexplainable.
shadow ban or something?
I don't know. I
TikTok
look
doesn't
back
do
at the content that I posted and I was like, nothing seemed too racy. Like I don't understand why this would happen. So like take the pressure off. Like that made me not want to focus on it. But that kind of thing, I think I put so much value in seeing the podcast grow. I talked about that in my little solo one. I put so much value in seeing it grow at a certain rate because I was getting gassed up by it, admittedly. You know, it was like, sick, this is doing really well. People at work are saying, oh, look, it's growing. It's doing really well, blah, blah, blah. Friends would comment on it. Evan would always screenshot and show like when we hit like a milestone for followers or something like that. And so there's like, you're chasing that like dopamine rush of
100%.
seeing it do well, having a clip go viral, right? But that made it really unfun. That's not a word.
That's a word.
Is it?
it's a word now.
That made it very unfun when it wasn't doing well.
Yes.
And so then it felt like we're continuing to put in the same effort, but no longer seeing the same results. I feel like that's kind of like what like you're describing with needing to add sounds to the captions to make it more engaging now. Why? Like, but at the same time, ASAP Rocky said it. Since when did it become not cool to try? It is cool to try. You should try. But that doesn't mean that it has to be a success. You got to try, but it doesn't have to be successful. It doesn't have to like lead to any particular result. That's the way that I feel about it.
When you guys started the podcast, did you get any hate from your friends or?
Zero.
Don't think so. No.
Zero.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, yeah, good shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
People thought it was a good idea from the jump. People were very supportive of it. When I posted the first episode, I like posted it and then went to the gym immediately after. And I think I've told this story on the podcast. I cried.
You cried?
I cried on like once I got to the gym because people like I was just sitting in my car and people were sending messages about how like sick it was that I did this.
Was the first episode a solo?
It was with me and Jesse Beavis.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Who
love Jesse.
you know Jesse
I know
Beavis. Jesse Valenciano of Jesse's
Yeah.
Barbershop.
Please sponsor us. That
Please sponsor
Please
us.
sponsor
Okay,
us.
it's please sponsor
You know
us.
those 4 guys you sent me? I'm like, I know one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I remember
They
that
have like colored
vaguely.
microphones.
I remember
Purple
the,
mic guy.
Oh, right, the Sound Library guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're growing. They're getting big.
Yo, their stuff's sick. It's popping off. And admittedly, like that was one of the things that I was measuring myself up against. It's like I know these guys and like I see them doing so well off this shit, but then I'm sitting there going like my content is so different. Why am I comparing it?
Exactly.
Right. And so that was putting me in such a negative space. But yeah, the first episode when I put it out, like we had such a good response to it and like just the love was pouring in, and so I felt kind of like overwhelmed. It was the first time I felt that sensation, which was a weird thing. It was like I wasn't sad, right? It was like an overwhelming like happiness that made me start to cry.
And you never had that?
Never
feeling?
before.
Oh,
Never before. That was the first time thing. And I don't know if it was because like, hey, this is something I put together and I made this thing happen and there's a positive reception to it. Or if it was just like finally like taking that jump and like making the thing that I wanted to do. I don't know what it was, seeing it come full circle. Who knows?
Was there also a feeling of like, oh, you might be worried that people might not like it? Was it that or just surprised by the positive reactions?
Maybe surprised by the positive reaction to it. Yeah. I at no point thought like this sucks. You know what I mean? When I put it out, I was like, I'm happy with that conversation. I think it's on the right path. And for a first episode, I thought we had like a decent setup for it and everything. The camera was kind of shit, but whatever. But it was like, I mean, Jesse instilled something in me and he had been really clear from the start. He helped me get kind of like on the right track with it all. His roommate, Joe, who's also part of Please Sponsor Us, Blue Mic guy, they both kind of helped me pick out the equipment and get sorted. But Jesse really drove home like, you want to make it look good and sound good from day one, because if it's not, people aren't going to watch, right? And so there was a component to it, which was I do want people to see this, right? But
Let me use the washroom real quick.
Oh yeah, that's a break.
pee break.
The worst bladder ever. Has the bladder of a pregnant woman. I'm sorry.
What were we talking about before? I forgot. I had a train of thought I was gonna ask.
Oh shit.
Have you tried thinking about sex?
I swear it was on like Did You Know on Facebook. It was like if you have to pee, like think about sex, because apparently like for dudes like the piss and the sperm.
Right.
Like,
Obviously, it comes out the same spot.
yeah,
man.
so like we have to pee, like the sperm cuts off or like blocks whatever. I don't know, something like that.
What if they mix?
That's a disgusting cocktail.
every night.
Is that possible? I don't know. Rick.
We were talking about podcast pressure, kind
Podcast pressure.
sort of.
Do you have any hate now?
No,
Just been pure support, positivity.
no one has told me to fuck off.
Like even like on TikTok, comment wise.
Okay, yos.
Those don't count. Those do not count.
They don't count because god damn it, the people on TikTok are dumb sometimes, man. You take a 30-second clip out of context from anything and the point is gone sometimes. If the wrong audience catches it and they interpret it one way, that feeds into that type of people's algorithm, and they're all thinking that same way now. They might have missed the point of the clip. And so I haven't gotten like direct hate myself on there, but there has been hate on there. And one of the last clips we posted, it wasn't hate, but it was just like a complete missed point. Kabir was talking in it, and some guy comments, "You can see the pain in his eyes."
Oh, I saw that. I saw that.
And I'm just thinking, watching him, like, bro, like he was just fucking talking. Like he's not sad.
Did he get a lot of
Took
likes?
it that way. It did get a lot of likes, right? But fuck it, like drive up the engagement.
So,
TikTok doesn't count, man.
Didn't Seb get a lot of hate?
Seb got a lot of hate. My best friend got like a lot of hate because he was like, people don't understand the dynamic of the people who are on the podcast. It was a group of 4 of us who have been friends for years, 10 plus years, all of us. And Seb was giving this other guy, Jess, a hard time about like wanting to
figuring
get
out
a
what you
dream
want
job.
to do.
Yeah. He's like, just figure it out. Like you've had all this time, you know what you like to do, find a job in that place. Like, and he was being like really pressy about it, but that's our friendship dynamic.
Yeah.
And so I posted a clip of that, and everybody's like, dude, this guy's a dick. Like it's not that easy, but it's like, it's a 30-second clip, man. No hate. Like people have been relatively supportive of the podcast.
What about you guys?
I think it's been.
I mean, for me, it's like everything we say on the internet is just for the internet.
Yeah.
Once you say it and it's out there, you have no control over it. You can try to reply if you want, but that's just gonna create more, and it's just a waste of your energy. So for me, it's like as long as people that within our circles and that I care about don't go to me for anything, I don't really give a shit. If they come to me and say like, "Yo, you're saying some wild shit," I'm gonna look back at it and be like, "Okay, maybe I explained it wrong. Maybe I said some wild shit. Whatever." But for the internet, like freaking Jacob, whoever on TikTok, I don't give a fuck. He's probably like 7 years old from Missouri or something like that. Like, I don't care what he says, man. He can just go like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's been mainly support, except for just like one episode where
Which episode?
just what you said.
Yeah, I explained something really poorly.
And they got, within our friend group,
Yeah.
sort of misinterpreted.
Sure.
And they got upset.
But part of it too is like we said before, like we don't open up. So they didn't really know where I was coming from when I said it. So I said for me, and I knew all, like in head, I know all the backstory. I know why I said what I said. But to them, they're like, why the fuck did you say that? I'm like, oh, right. They don't know about any of that shit.
Right. Right. I get what you're saying though too. It's like if the people around you are fine, it's that same Tyler the Creator thing, right? Just turn it off. Who cares? At the end of the day, if let's say you made an episode one day that was just brutal and the whole like world felt like it was collapsing on you, boom, delete the podcast. You're done. You're out. You know what I mean? Like clip's gone, podcast is gone. Who cares?
That's true.
Move on.
But
But
is all publicity good publicity?
I mean, how much money did Andrew Tate make?
look
off
at Andrew
TikTok?
Tate.
Depends on what road you want to take, right?
Yeah.
I guess
It depends.
the road to fame.
It would depend on what you get out of the negative publicity on something.
Yeah.
For us at this point, and maybe you feel the same way. If we had a bunch of negative publicity on the TikTok, on the podcast, that's not good.
Not good for ours.
You know what I mean? Like we're not getting anything out of it back into our lives other than like an intrinsic, this feels great, these conversations are awesome. But if there's a bunch of negative podcasts or a negative stuff saying like, oh, this podcast is bad, it's promoting something negative, blah, 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 that's not great. Like that can't be good publicity. Like that would feel bad at our point. But like Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? Jogan, if he got some negative publicity coming in, who cares? That's just going to drive more people to his massive platform. It's not going to drive more people to us. People aren't going to care.
Do you think some people are too big to be canceled?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Rogan's way too big to be canceled, I feel
Yes.
Dave Chappelle.
like. Chris Brown is
Dave
way too
Chappelle,
big.
yeah, they can't cancel
Like,
Dave
you can't
Chappelle.
cancel.
I think that's crazy.
Chris Brown?
I think Chris Brown should have been canceled a long time ago.
Yeah.
Big time.
I think the thing is Chris Brown fucked up when canceling wasn't the thing yet.
Oh, yeah.
Not at the scale that
okay.
it is today.
Yeah, that's fair.
He avoided the social media shitstorm that would have occurred at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you think about it now, imagine Drake beat a woman.
Yeah.
That dude's gone. His career's over now because everybody would barrel on him. I don't think anybody is too big to be canceled for certain things.
But what about,
Will Smith.
I was going to say R. Kelly.
Will Smith should have been fucking canceled. He kind of did, man. I don't watch movies.
I was going to say
Yeah,
R.
no,
Kelly.
he-
Because
he-
oh, yeah, sorry.
No,
He pissed on people.
But R. Kelly did all the way back then. They brought it up, and now he's canceled. Chris Brown.
Well, no, he's going to prison, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, for like a
Canceled
bunch
for
of other
life.
shit.
That's the
too.
right
But I just been like R. Kelly's like he's big, but like he's still getting canceled. Like
Yeah.
if you get criminally canceled, you're canceled.
That's actually canceled.
Yeah.
I think Will Smith dropped another like apology video
It's
recently.
multi-camera production. So genuine.
But I was gonna say Chris Brown he didn't get canceled. He's like, oh shit, I'm in hot water. Let me drop another fire R&B track. You know, that'll
50 songs.
that'll take the heat off.
Chris Brown's dropping like 50 song albums now. It's
Yeah,
insane.
bro, man.
Is he?
Indigo was like 50 songs, I think.
Oh,
40
the fuck.
something songs. Breezy was like 30. But Indigo Deluxe was like 50 songs.
I didn't listen to any of it.
Where's
I haven't
Soulja Boy
listened to
at
him
these
for a while.
days?
Soulja Boy can't get canceled.
Soulja
Soulja Boy
Boy's
would
the-
be fine no matter what he does.
Soulja Boy's the first rapper to get canceled.
Man. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that cancel culture is funny.
Not all publicity is not good publicity.
No.
Like, do you want Logan Paul? 20. Do
True.
you want that when he filmed the hanging?
Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Japan.
he was in
Oh,
Suicide
right. That was a
Forest.
long
I
time
mean, he
ago.
bounced back. He's like doing great now.
Yeah.
But how long did that take? Like 5 years?
No, I think longer than, I think the rebound was like, what was the Japanese video? Like 2016?
Yeah, it's like 7.
Something like
I mean,
that.
sure, we're still talking about it now, right?
That's
people,
true.
people don't forget.
Don't forget,
But
man.
now he's doing like WWE. He's like
Yeah.
living his dream. And he's fine now.
Sometimes I
He's
find
doing
out.
WWE.
Yeah, sorry.
yeah.
he signed.
He's actually pretty good too. Like people like him.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty good at it.
Sometimes I find out about people who are canceled. Like I was listening to like Sabrina Claudio. I'm like, oh fuck, she's canceled. What the
She's
fuck? did she do?
canceled?
She got canceled a long time ago. Apparently,
What did she do?
Daniel Caesar too.
Daniel Caesar did not get canceled. Did he get
They
canceled?
tried to cancel him a long time ago.
What for?
I don't remember what he was doing. He was drunk on Instagram. He said, "Cancel me over some shit." I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Shakira's canceled.
What?
Shakira's facing tax fraud.
Tax fraud. Yeah.
She's in prison.
I don't know if that counts as like cancel.
Isn't she a
But
prisoner?
she's going to.
Oh,
She's going to prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, they were playing Ricky Martin at the gym the other day. I thought he was done.
No,
What did Ricky
that
Martin
was
do?
all false claims.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
He's
they
been
came out-
acquitted.
He's been acquitted, dude.
What did Ricky Martin do?
No, his fucking his nephew, no niece or something. No, it was his nephew. Accused him of them being in a relationship, and then they broke up, and Ricky Martin started treating his nephew poorly, and like abuse and like the violence and all that. And then people started canceling Ricky Martin, and then literally the next week he was acquitted, and then like his nephew was like admitted to making it all up.
Damn.
Could you imagine a world without living La Vida Loca? Think about that. Go to any resort and they don't play that? Jesus. I don't want to live in that world. Bro. Yeah, you can't get canceled.
Who else got canceled?
Did Ellen got canceled?
Ellen got
right?
canceled.
Yeah, she
Oh,
did. I forgot
Still
about
canceled?
that. I think so.
Well, it's just their show's done.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't-
Oh shoot.
Remember her dancing through the aisles?
Oh yeah.
You know, start of every episode. Jesus. 12 days of giveaways.
She like hops. She like hovers above the chair and just like drops into it.
yeah, yeah. And then the music stops.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
Genius. I don't know. I think that people are just going to keep coming and going. We're going to come and go on the internet eventually. You know what I mean? Like podcast is fun right now, but I don't know, man. Maybe one day people get tired of it. I'll probably get tired of it before other people get tired of it. I'll stop making them.
Don't worry, I'll take over.
No, yeah, you take over the reins.
Once a month.
Turns to Andrew Tate.
yeah,
Shave your head.
show some
Shave
shades,
your head.
shirtless. Man,
Do you have a worst episode that you ever recorded? And why?
That's a good question.
Like, you ever just record an episode and be like, that was so bad?
yeah, but I don't remember it because it's gone.
I was like, not. you
I
just didn't put-
delete them. I don't post.
Oh,
them.
you deleted episodes?
Yeah, just scrap it.
Really?
Out the door. I think I've only deleted 3 episodes.
Was that with
Maybe.
others in it?
Oh
too?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I told them something didn't work out. I don't know, like the audio's wrong.
Oh, it wasn't recorded.
Really?
That's a really good excuse.
Yeah.
How do you not take that personally as a guest, though?
No, no. And I've been honest with if it was like close friends, I'll be like yo, like it just didn't like I didn't like how it turned out.
Oh.
I'm just not gonna post it, and that's fine. No offense taken, you know.
Was it just like content wise, like not in a line?
Yeah. Or maybe it came off like unintentionally ignorant.
Oh,
Or
okay.
I've had someone ask to take their episode down afterwards before.
Oh shoot. Okay.
I've had like edits requested after the episode's been posted. That's kind of annoying. I had to
That
take
is
it down
annoying.
and re-upload.
Oh wow.
And I try my best to like send them out prior to, so they can see it and like know that it's okay, right? I think I did that with y'all, or did y'all just say it was okay for me to post?
You didn't. Well, we were fine with
Okay,
that.
so yeah,
I think at the house we were like, fuck it.
yeah, I think you're right. I don't have a standout worst episode. I think even that's been posted.
Yeah, no,
Do you?
I can't think of really anything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been plenty of episodes where I just lose my train of thought. I'm just like staring into the camera for a little bit.
That's okay.
But none of them, I don't think they're bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys
really good at that?
give guests? Do you guys give guests? What's that form called?
Or release form.
Release forms?
No, bro. No.
No,
No.
I don't either. But I feel like it's like we should.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. Just get like permission beforehand. Whatever you say, I can use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least like
Equitable.
once I send it to you, if you said yes, that's it. It's up. You can't change your mind. But I don't want to be a dick.
That's true,
know?
right? Especially if it's like your friends.
That feels like a big like ego trip. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm so important. My content's so important that like I have to whatever you said, like it's done now, man. No, bro. Like
That's
fuck it.
true.
Just take down
That's
the
a good
video.
point.
Yeah.
What's the best episode then?
Each one gets better and better, man. Last one
Okay.
was the best one
That's
for
the
now.
right answer.
I would
but-
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you improve all the time. I'm sure you notice that too with yourselves, right? Like you navigate conversations better, you set up the audio better, you get a camera angle different that felt better, like whatever it is, right? You tweak it. You find like a new way to edit or cut around something, you know, like it feels better. Yeah, most of the episodes I'd say like week to week do get stronger. The ones where I feel the least confident are with like new people, you know, and it's like, oh, like I'm not sure how it's going to turn out because I always get nervous that I'm not like leading the conversation well enough. I'm not keeping things flowing.
Yeah.
But overall, they improve each week. This last one, no joke, was really, really good. Really, really good.
It just
Good
flowed.
response on it. Yeah, it just flowed real well. Yeah.
That was ours.
It was yours? Yours was solid. If you want me to be honest,
Yours was okay, but like
Yes, okay.
it was definitely not bad. I wouldn't say it was like a standout where I was like, oh yeah, I'm fucking like amped up on this. Like this was a fun time to edit. And I think it's because I felt awkward and that carries out, right? Like as a host, I think you have some responsibility to like you set the tone in the room, you know what I mean? And I thought maybe I was forcing some questions. It was all like feedback I gave back to myself. Because at the end of the day, it's not your guest's fault if like a conversation doesn't go well. I feel like it's your responsibility as the host to gear up questions and try and feel out the room and understand how someone's gonna respond. And
Like the comfort in the room is like it plays a big factor. For
huge
sure.
factor, huge factor. And sometimes we don't set that comfort very well. Maybe we jump into the episode too quick.
Right.
I'm sure you've noticed it. Like I get like nervous at the start sometimes. I just start like rambling off, or I forget to do something, or like set the stage wrong. I think the preparation is pretty key.
Yeah. I really enjoyed like when we do it once in a while where we like have a mini conversation right before we actually start filming. Yeah.
like
Like
before
with recording.
But
with
like
recording. Okay.
but like the jokes are kind of flowing and stuff. Yeah.
And then it just gets cut out and we start into the actual podcast. Right?
Yeah, that's what I try to do too.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just leave it in.
Yeah. If it fits, it fits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of lets the jitters get out the way.
I
And
was
people get used to
like,
it.
when we did your episode, I was nervous as fuck.
Mm.
But you guys did honestly, like I did after you guys we started talking to you guys and you guys like kind of like sat down, we started doing the podcast. I did calm down a lot more. So I will say like you guys did create
you
a
guys
very
did fine.
welcoming environment.
It was good.
And I did feel much more comfortable as time went on.
For sure.
But I was
I've got to
nervous
come
as
back
shit.
another time
Oh,
or something,
yeah, for
because then
sure,
we'll feel more comfortable,
Yeah,
you know? It'll feel
yeah.
better.
Even today I was nervous. I was like thinking on the way here, I'm like, fuck, it's such a long day. Like, do I have enough energy for this? Like, will I be able to like engage this conversation? Like I'm still kind of nervous. I'm like, what the fuck? These guys are humongous. I feel freaking intimidated. Like, why the fuck?
Yeah. But I mean, I'm speaking about being here today. Like this feels better even than when y'all were at ours.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
For sure. Yeah.
It felt familiar. Like I saw it and it's like, oh shit, like it's just Andrew and Jane. Like we're cool now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like a normal thing.
That's good. I think that's the biggest thing. We just want our guests to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing serious. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
What do you think is like? We'll end this soon. You know, I feel like it's been a while, but
Sure.
what time is it?
9:45.
Quarter to 10.
Hour and a half.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, we'll wrap it up. What do you think is like the biggest thing you've learned from podcasting or see improvement? So like for me, I feel like I'm much better at just like asking questions and like different kind of questions to sort of like learn more about that person. and I feel like I do it too much sometimes, and I get called out. It's like, yo, stop being such a podcaster when I'm asking people questions. I'm like, okay, sorry, but that's what I see for myself. Like, what do you guys see doing it other than like being able to, like you mentioned earlier, express yourself better now because you have that outlet? Like, is there something else besides that?
You want me to take it first?
Yeah, take it away, champ.
No, I want Kabir to take it. No, it's okay, whatever.
I think it's taught me a few things from like a skill standpoint. I learned some stuff around audio and video and like basic editing techniques, whatever. That's cool. It's given me like a level of comfort in like my presence in the world that I don't think I had prior to. And what I mean by that is I think I look at people as peers more than ever. In the past, I might look at a manager as purely a superior, not someone who is just another person who I can talk to and relate to. And there's probably some common ground there. Meeting new people that might seem like some sort of authority figure, whatever it is, maybe even like a bouncer outside of a bar, you know what I mean? Like these people might have seemed more intimidating to me prior to this, but now I understand that everybody's just a person, you know what I mean? You take them out of their world and you bring them into a conversation. There's nothing that makes you different from another person. I think that that's something I've learned. The other thing I've learned is and I'm trying to continue to learn, is not sell myself short. You can do things that are uncomfortable and you can learn new skills. You can jump into creating a podcast, for example. But that's carrying over into me thinking of like next steps around work, for example. I don't need to sell myself short and say like, oh shit, like what? I can't find a new job. I'll find something. And like, no matter what, like life goes on, you know. I think that's like a lesson that I'm learning too from it, which is a weird thing to take away from starting a podcast. But those are things that I've learned, I think, about myself, is not sell myself short, and that people aren't as intimidating as they seem.
No one
People
scares
are
you anymore.
just people. Yeah, we all shit, you know.
Is that true? No one scares you anymore?
People don't really scare me that much anymore, man.
Well, lock him in the cage with Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, what
happens?
That'll be fine. I mean, violence is different. But like, I don't know. I work in customer service, right? Like long story short. Cut that out, for God's sake. Long story short, I work in customer service. But I don't know, like if you get somebody who comes up to you pissed off, I'm way less thrown off guard now. I think I kind of like understand and meet them where they are, that they are probably pissed off at something else that's going on in their life, you know what I mean? And I just happen to be the one that they're talking to. And I've laughed at someone's face before and they didn't like that. Like they were getting like really pissed, like right out of the gate. And I was just kind of like, oh man, like, and like big smile on my face. And he's like, you're laughing. And I was like, yeah, man. Bro. But like, fuck it. They left. They were fine. Nothing happened, you know? Yeah. People aren't that scary.
Empathy, baby.
Empathy. Yeah. Empathy. Yeah. That's exactly it.
What about you, Kabir?
Yeah. Other than the conversations and being more comfortable talking about myself, it's fuck, I was gonna say something.
It's okay.
I told you he's good at this.
Take your time. We got all day.
I always do this.
Fuck.
It's okay.
I just had it.
Or
damn it, Reuben.
We might not cut it out. We'll leave it in. Leave it in. Take your time.
Empathy.
No, it had nothing to do with empathy.
Empathy?
Give me like 5 minutes. Fuck, I was really gonna say something.
You'll get it.
You'll get it, man. This is how a podcast is, you know?
Yeah.
Always, it's real.
Episode.
Be real.
Be real.
Be real.
Download it now.
Every single
Not
episode, I do the
sponsored.
same shit. I'm just like there. I'm like, what the fuck? He'll say something. And he'll look back at me. I'm like, fuck, I don't know anymore.
It had something to do with like
selling yourself short.
No, it was more like confidence wise.
Okay. Improved confidence?
Definitely improved confidence. But it had another angle that I was going to.
Let's see. Let's try to get this.
Yeah, if you can help me out here, that'd be just great.
Show words. He'll get there.
Confidence, ego,
No.
expression, words.
Anything to do with trying new shit? Stepping outside of comfort zones?
Seeking discomfort.
Confidence in front of others?
Confidence leaving the house.
Confidence putting your pants on.
Confidence taking them off.
Shit,
They're all good ideas. I forgot, but I'm just gonna go with confidence. Like,
Confidence.
yeah,
Well, what do you feel genuinely right now? Besides expression, besides being able to express, like, is there something that comes right to your mind right now when I ask you that?
from the podcast,
Like
from
what,
from doing,
or even like tangible skills?
not really, man. I just kind of
Just do.
again just show up,
Yeah.
talk, you know.
It's
But
bullshit.
give it to me then.
This is the thing, man. Maybe this comes from me being so like open and all this stuff. I see a ton of growth in Kabir.
Yeah, maybe I need to be a little more self-reflective for sure.
It's not that you need to be more self-reflective. I think you're selling yourself short and like discounting the things that you've learned, man.
Right.
Too hard on yourself?
Maybe just not paying attention to that side too much.
Maybe not thinking of it even as
Yeah.
that you've learned something.
Right.
Oh.
I see Kabir as somebody who has learned tremendously to open up. He was not open, at least as much as you are, prior to starting the podcast. Even when you did start, it wasn't an immediate thing. It's like been a constant growth. You even open up more on episodes. You talk more on episodes than you did before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say like
Go
I
ahead.
already
There you
said,
go. There you go.
I already said like the conversations part, but like just like I've always had like a huge fear of like public speaking and just speaking like in the group setting, because then when I'm in like a group setting of other than like our close friend group, I really like close up into like my introverted side and I'll just be like that background kind of guy,
Right.
maybe throwing a joke here and there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's super helped with that and being more articulate and I don't know, putting sentences together better. But even like some of my friends that like coworkers and friends have said, "Oh, you're way more confident when you speak and stuff."
So you find yourself articulating more in group settings and talking more?
Yeah, being more expressive in group settings for sure.
And would you say you're a very good listener?
Extremely good listener.
Extremely good listener.
Yeah, big ears.
Huge.
Huge.
Yeah, no, I've always been like more of the observant type. So
Sometimes, and you think sometimes like too good of a listener where you don't express yourself?
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Right.
Definitely more inviting to it.
Wow.
I think that's kind of like what I saw in Kabir when like asking him to be the co-host on the podcast, was that he is an outstanding listener. And I think when you do share your perspective people really listen to. And I really respect that about Kabir. And I think that you have honed that more and more through the podcast, and you are a more open guy.
Thanks, man.
Aw.
It's whatever. I don't give a shit about this.
All right, we're back to being dudes now.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Compliment done, man.
No, but I read it somewhere. I think in like, I don't know, not a manipulation book or like a communication book. It's like those people who are more quiet, when they say something,
Yeah, everyone listens.
Everyone listens. So
Kabir's that guy.
here's that guy. You're that guy.
Could
that
be.
guy.
Yeah.
Might
You're
be
that guy.
No, not this guy.
Yeah, that's
That
why
guy.
Oh, Rudy Gay.
episodes once a year.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna listen.
Just going further and further away now. By the end of like this week, like, okay, so episodes once every decade.
Yeah.
10-year special.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say?
I'm thinking.
Any
I'm
words for
thinking
our
Arby's.
listeners?
I'm thinking Arby's. Yeah.
Where is Arby's?
I've never had it actually either.
Arby's. Bro.
Should we all go?
Where's the nearest Arby's?
There's one on is that a Wendy's?
Wait.
It's a Wendy's down Marine Drive. That's a Wendy's,
That's
right?
a
Where you
Wendy's.
go
That's
by
Wendy's,
the-
that's Wendy's.
Yeah,
That's Wendy's.
No, it's not. I don't know where the Arby's is, man.
Couldn't tell you.
Don't they make square things, or is that Wendy's? Square patties?
No, Wendy's is round patties.
Wendy's is round patties. So
Square
I think
patties.
Arby's is square, no?
Yeah, but where's? I feel like Maple Ridge maybe,
I'm thinking Arby's, man.
Could be.
because there's a Olive Garden in like Abbotsford, I think,
Mm.
a random place. So maybe Arby's is down there.
Mm. Shit, eh?
Do you have a lasting, quick mental health tip for our listeners?
Any mental health tip?
Yes.
Pick up a journal. That would be like a
That's a
very
good
simple one.
Yeah.
Whatever you're thinking today, if you've got something that's been on your mind, doesn't even have to be a journal. Get a piece of paper, write out that thing, Aziza, who was on our last episode, again, On Your Mental podcast. Y'all can check it out. Aziza, who was on our last episode, made a really good point, which is that if you speak something out, you can only think of one thing at a given time, right? If you don't say anything, if you're not writing something out, your mind's just going nuts, right? So if you had something that has just been lingering there, if you start to write it out, it can allow you to just focus on that thing. It gets rid of some of the cloud and lets you hone in on one piece. That'd be my thing. Write something down today.
One more simple tip. Take a cold shower.
Big time.
Reduces anxiety.
Yes, it does.
There you go, guys. There's your mental health tips. All right. Well, plug your stuff. You already plugged your stuff.
Yeah. Hey,
Plug it again.
Yeah.
On Your Mental podcast every 2 weeks on Mondays, 8 a.m. Videos on YouTube, audio on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, clips on TikTok.
If you want to try shrooms.
If you want to try shrooms, if you're interested, they're not my shrooms, but they are a friend of ours, fungalfriend.com. You can use the code OYM20 for 20% off at checkout. Ships to Canada only.
I might take some for our camping trip, allegedly.
Buddy, enjoy them. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep going back to them.
Stuff.
I'm
Do you have a
still doing the regular microdose. If you're going for, like, what do you want?
What
Do you want a full experience?
An experience where I don't think I'm going to die.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, no, get the Shine capsules.
Yeah.
It's they have 450 milligrams per capsule, 10 capsules in a bag.
Yeah.
Shit, take like 6, 7. You'd have a
Whoa.
good full.
6, 7.
No,
At once?
You don't do that.
What the I'm gonna fucking.
Nah.
Have you microdosed before?
I've never done it before.
You've never done
never-
shrooms before?
I've never done it
Take
before.
5.
yeah.
You're fine with take 5.
Don't
5?
do that. Don't do 5.
It's, bro, a full dose is 2 grams.
Okay.
5 of those would be 2.25
I'm
grams.
supposed to take it.
You'll
Are
be
you
all
gonna
right.
eat?
Sorry?
Are you gonna be eating regularly?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do it on a
Yeah.
full stomach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna do it at the aquarium, but the aquarium closed too early, so I didn't get the chance.
Bro, that'd be wild.
I did it at the aquarium.
Yeah.
Did not hit enough.
No.
No, hey.
Yeah. No. Did not get the giggles.
I thought I was gonna sit there and stare at the jellyfish.
Mhm. I would suggest get a Shine pack,
Yeah.
get a Glow pack. They have another one called Rise that's very microdose. But if you could microdose with the Glow, you could have a full experience with the Shine pack. These are not my products. I just really enjoy them.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
I got like some albums. I was since like 07 Shake and like the
Bro.
weekend.
Listening to music on any of this stuff is awesome, man.
Dude.
You hear music very differently.
Go check out the penguins at the aquarium.
I'm gonna stare at the sea otters the whole day. I'd be sitting there, even in the rain. I'd be sit there, just soaking wet, like looking at the otters. Like, damn, these guys are cute as fuck. These fucking little otters and shit.
It'd be awesome.
All right. And you know what to do.
Oh,
Subscribe to us on YouTube. Drop a like. Drop a comment.
5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Also, rate On Your Mental 5 stars.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Follow us.
Follow us on social media, everything like that. We got some more Chinatown stuff coming through soon that we just filmed, which is why we're both so fucking dead.
Yeah. See you guys next
season.
week. And thank you again, Ruben. Thank you.
Yes,
for
thank
here.
you guys.
This was an
Yeah, it's
absolute
an honor.
pleasure.
This is
Thanks for
After
having
Hours.
This is literally after.
I'm gonna go home and
Nighttime
listen to
for
After
you.
Hours while increasingly baked.
Yeah.
Listen to the Game album.
Yeah.
The Black Slim Shady.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.